back to the engine on YouTube. Right now we're going to be doing the NFC South, going past the big names, who signed where, who signed what, how we feel about all of it.
Last video, we went over a couple irrelevant names.
We're going to be keeping it strictly to starters.
We're going to be keeping it real.
But we'll still deliver all the content. That's somewhat important.
Anyways, let's get it started.
By the way, the NFC South.
Yeah, with the Atlanta.
Atlanta Falcons.
With the Atlanta Falcons, so big ones. Dante Fowler Jr. happened today. 3-year deal worth up to $48 million. How do you guys feel about this?
He's meant for this defense.
I love it, actually. Yeah, I do too. So Vic Beasley, he's gone. He obviously did not work out. They don't have any cap space, and this is kind of like a great move for a team that really didn't have much to work with. It's kind of just, I don't know. It's a really good move. I give it
Fowler. Wow. Okay, so Fowler Jr.'s sack numbers are deceiving. He played next to Aaron Donald. He's not a true number one pass rusher on any team. Yeah. But the Falcons keep investing on these edge rushers, the Vic Beasleys, the Takaris McKinleys, who are all pure edge rushers, athletic guys who haven't really ended up working out.
I mean, Takaris McKinley isn't exactly a pure edge rusher.
He's kind of inside. But
yeah,
he's a pass rusher.
I just think the thing with the Falcons is, no matter what the Falcons do, we always know that they're like the Detroit Lions of the playoffs. They get to the playoffs and they lose. Last year, they were picked to win the division by some people.
They're still really talented.
And then they were just horrible. I think Matt Ryan might be the most overrated quarterback. I hate Matt Ryan with a burning passion.
Okay, that's not true. I think
Matt Ryan is the most overrated quarterback his whole career in the history of.
All right, we got to talk about Dante Fowler.
In the history of organized sports, he's the most.
Anyway, 3 or $48 million. There's not
Kyrie Irving
for an edge rusher. They didn't give him too many years, so I'm okay with it. But $16 million a year is a little absurd for a guy who I don't even know if he can produce without an Aaron Donald type guy on the inside. No hate on Grady Jarrett, but he's not Aaron Donald.
What I applaud the Falcons for is there's lots of these teams that just, we don't have any money, we're not going to do anything. But the Falcons found a way to make it work, and they got a pretty good player, which should add a lot of benefit to their team. So that's why I gave it such a good grade.
The Bears did the same thing. Except the Falcons didn't completely fuck it up.
That's true.
So we didn't mention Grady Jarrett, who's a great pass rusher up the middle. So he can go. He's not an edge rusher. Donald. They don't have. McKinley is an inside edge rusher. They don't have an edge rusher opposite him because the other linebacker is Devondre Campbell, who's a coverage linebacker. Mm-hmm. So they definitely.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I would give it a B. He can produce, but as Johnny eats his bagel, I don't think he's a true stud, $16 million deal guy.
That's fair.
As I eat my bagel, acquired in the trade with the Ravens, the Hayden Hurst is on the Falcons now, and in exchange, the Ravens got a 2nd and 5th round pick. I think the Ravens blew away, they won this trade by a mile.
Well, I don't know if they won the. Okay, it's fair for both sides. But the Ravens are swindling these other teams. They're absolutely swindling now.
This is amazing for the Ravens, but I think the Falcons made the right decision doing this. They have 2 second-round picks. They gave up their later of the 2.
They weren't going to get
a gaping hole. Yeah, they had a gaping hole at tight end. And just being real, the way the Falcons work, Julio and Calvin Ridley are their top 2 tight ends. Austin Hooper, just watching the tape, so many of his yards are in pretty easy dump-down plays. Easier routes where he's
middle of the field,
single or not even covered. Yeah, and I think Hayden Hurst, from being a first-round pick, even though he's kind of old for such a beginning of the career guy, I think he can actually do maybe as well as Austin Hooper in that role. So I don't mind it. Okay, I would give it a B-.
I mean, a second-round pick's a lot for someone who hasn't done much, but I think they needed him.
I agree. So, and also, one other thing to take into account, this tight end draft class sucks. They weren't going to be able to get a Hayden Hurst in the 2nd round.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Maybe.
Moving on to the next team, the Carolina Panthers. So, I know you guys were all anxiously awaiting for them to re-sign Kyle Allen. They did. They did re-sign Kyle Allen.
Wow. I did not see that.
Whatever, doesn't matter. Trey Boston, safety, re-signing with the Panthers on a 3-year, $18 million deal. We know their secondary is pretty weak, but it's more weak at the cornerback
is
position.
one of the best deals of free agency.
He's
Trey
so
Boston,
underrated.
He's so underrated. He's been one of the better safeties in the league for a long time. He just keeps going team to team, so people assume he's not that good. But he's one of the best deep safeties in the league, like pure deep safeties. So I think they got an amazing deal out of him.
They got an amazing deal, especially with all these. We talked about this in the last video, but all the defensive backs are getting big money.
Mm-hmm.
That's not that much money.
The fact that Trey Waynes is getting paid $24 million more than him at the same length, and Trey Boston is significantly better, is absurd. I would give this a triple A plus.
I would triple A plus
free agency. This is
great
probably the second best thing that's happened this free agency, obviously behind the the Cardinals straight robbery.
We will get there. Get there.
There's some other things that are.
But the big news coming out of the Carolina Panthers, besides Cam Newton, which is wrapped into this, Teddy Bridgewater agrees to a 3-year, $63 million deal. It includes $33 million fully guaranteed. Nick Freeman, I know as a Bears fan, you were very upset to see the news, but how do you feel about this deal?
I don't really understand it. I like Bridgewater, and I think he deserves a chance of being a starter again. But if the Panthers are so set on tanking and going for Trevor Lawrence, which is what they should do because he's the best quarterback in the last 10 years, in my opinion, since Andrew Luck, I would take him over Joe Burrow. But anyway.
Really? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Bridgewater's a 3-year deal, 63. You're investing a lot in a quarterback. I understand he has a connection with Joe Brady from back at the Saints, but still, he's a game manager. You're not going to get insane play out of him. And I think if you're tanking, why are you signing this kind of guy to lead your team? They might go 6-10 and not be able to get him because they signed Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
which is just my main.
I totally understand that. People aren't stressing that enough because the Panthers they're really tanking right now. And the Teddy Bridgewater is not going to be in the playoffs next year. Probably the year after that, too. He's a good quarterback. He's a stable starting quarterback, which is what you need. But they got a lot to do before Teddy Bridgewater and a good team can make a run at, like, a championship. So
I think they got good value out of him, but I don't agree with what they're doing.
His potential is very low, too. He's young, but he's always been more of a conservative quarterback, and he doesn't have insane intangibles.
And especially considering that his mobility has been extremely reduced because of the fact that they almost amputated his leg 2 years ago. He tore his ACL, and I think it was his PCL. I'm not 100% sure.
It might have been all four.
It might have been.
It was like his whole knee. It was ridiculous.
He tore
2 years.
He hurt a lot of his knee. He was gone for 2 years. The first play, it's kind of sad. The first play he was back after 2 years, threw an interception. But that's not what's important. Teddy Bridgewater almost got his leg amputated, and the whole thing about Teddy Bridgewater coming out, he runs, but he throws a really good deep ball. He can't really run as well as he used to, but he was really good for the Saints.
Much of a deep ball.
He throws a pretty good deep ball. Anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. It's like right in the middle for me. If Carolina has a plan, then cool. It's a good signing. But I'm sure they don't.
Do you like this signing? Do you like this signing or Nick Foles signing more?
Nick Foles makes more sense.
They're totally different. So I'm not sure.
Probably it's different situations. The Bears needed a quarterback more.
I can't really judge that. I technically I gave Nick Foles trade a better grade, but you know.
So, but how are we feeling about Cam Newton? Because the Panthers have allowed him to seek trades, but the thing with the physical.
People were saying that, wow, I can't believe the Panthers are letting go this easily. But clearly, it's the injury risk. If they're gonna tank like this, he's 30 years old. He gets injured all the time. This is just a headache to deal with.
As I said in the NFC North preview, due to all this coronavirus insanity, they're not able to give Cam Newton an actual physical, which is probably why the teams are scared to trade for his $19 million contract, because you're set on him. You can't test him out before you actually are sure about it. So that's why he's still on the team. They'll probably have to cut him. And he'll end up on a team by the start of the year.
The former MVP, though.
I think his last chance is the Patriots.
I'm just gonna say for everybody, I like Cam Newton. The person I compare Cam Newton to is Lamar Jackson. and I like Cam Newton so much more than I like Lamar
I
Jackson.
don't know.
How are you comparing a 2011 quarterback to a 2018
He's
quarterback?
so much cooler than Lamar Jackson is. Like every
Yeah,
metric.
but you can't say I compared Cam Newton to Lamar Jackson.
You have to say I compare Lamar Jackson to Cam Newton if
All
you're
right,
gonna
I
do that.
compare Lamar Jackson to Cam Newton, and I think Cam Newton is cooler on every metric.
Okay,
Okay.
moving on.
Okay,
Moving
bold
on.
take.
Bold take, but
Thank you.
Oh,
who am I missing here? The Panthers.
with Carolina, they just traded straight up with the Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, Trey Turner.
Trey Turner, offensive guard, for Russell Okung, offensive tackle, which was interesting to me. I think the main thing that signifies to me, by the way, Trey Turner's made the Pro Bowl a ton of times. He's pretty overrated. He's a good guard.
Yeah.
And Okung has been a really good tackle, but he does have definite risk with a heart issue. I think the thing that signifies to me.
Injured.
So I think both sides. I'm okay with this with the Panthers. What I think the largest impact of this on their team, though, they're pretty set at tackle. They have Okung on the left and Taylor Moton, one of the most underrated players in the NFL at right tackle, who's been a really solid tackle for them. So I think this, what I'm hearing, is they're not taking tackle at the 7th pick in the draft. They'll probably go defense, considering they just got Bridgewater.
Yeah.
That's my impact.
This clearly shows that tackles are valued much more than guards are, because Trey Turner is much better value.
Well, not value, but he's better at his position than Okung.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I
Well,
agree with you there.
of course, the Panthers think that Okung is a better value. That's why they traded for him.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't know if this is a great deal for a rebuilding team, even though they do want to get a solid tackle. The Panthers are making moves that are saying, like, we're straight rebuilding, and then they do something like this, do something with the Bridgewater. It's like a little up and down. Like, I'm not sure, like, which one are you doing?
Yeah. They should not choose to be 5-11 or 6-10.
Yeah.
They should either be 2-14 or I guess 8-8.
Yeah.
Next team in the NFC South, New Orleans Saints, and then we'll get to the big one, but New Orleans Saints, everything that we expected to happen except like two, I guess. Drew Brees re-signed with the Saints, same contract as he signed, last time he signed the same contract, 2 years, $50 million. Are we surprised by this? I don't think we are.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a little surprised by 2 years, because there were a lot of reports that he was going to retire. He was actually telling people at the Pro Bowl he was going to retire.
I think it was the opposite. I think he was just going to – he said he was going to make the decision.
He told them that he was going to retire, not reporters,
really?
players. Yeah.
Well,
this just came out like yesterday.
Well, here we are. He signed a 2-year contract. We're really not surprised by this. We thought if he was going to – yeah, good for him. Taysom Hill, team placed a first-round tender on the restricted free agent. Any chance we could see Taysom Hill as a starting quarterback in 2020?
I think he put it into everyone's head by Super Bowl week when not much was happening, telling everyone he could be a starting quarterback.
It was probably blown out of proportion.
Yeah, he honestly might have done it just so he gets this first-round tender. So the Saints, because when you get a first-round tender, you get like a $4 million bonus. So
anybody who
the Saints pay him more.
He's
a great gadget player.
Anybody who's upset that Taysom Hill, like that the Saints have him in your former team, because I think he used to be on the Packers, might have been on the Browns. I'm not 100% sure. I know a couple people who might be in this household right now that are upset that Taysom Hill is not on the Green Bay Packers, but no other team was using him the way that the Saints are. There's really no reason to get upset about it, and they only use him a lot, but it's not like he's really a one-trick pony. Like he can do.
I don't know.
Well, no, he's not a one-trick.
Not a one-trick pony,
like
but like
pony.
He's a billion-trick.
He's
pony,
not a one-trick pony, but his maximum
lot.
Potential is limited. Like he doesn't.
His
provide
maximum
that
potential.
much of
His maximum potential is like he's not actually making your team better. Like he doesn't make they would be fine without him.
I mean,
they still have Alvin Kamara. They have Michael Thomas. You're fine.
You need a Sean Payton and Andy Reid, a Bill Belichick to make this guy shine. So I think he'll do well. It was smart what they did, but he's not a starting quarterback.
Okay. This is new news today. Malcolm Jenkins, safety, signing with the Saints. Seemed like he wanted to be on the Saints.
I love
this. Said that in a previous video.
I love it. A+. I actually love this deal. So the Saints.
What was the money? It was 2 years.
It was a decent amount of money, I think.
I'm seeing 4 years, $32 million contract,
Oh.
16 million guaranteed, max value.
So-
That's a lot of years.
Yeah. So he's old, but he's coming back to the Saints, which he was solid on the Saints, but he really revived his career on the Eagles. But I think they had a lot of problems in the secondary with being consistent because they have a great secondary with Marshawn Lattimore, but they weren't really consistent at all times. So this is
And
going to lead
Marcus
a bunch
Williams.
and this is going to lead a bunch of leadership. And he's a great player. He's one of the best safeties in the NFL. Great hitter, and
He fits really great.
he's
next to
reuniting
Marcus
with the
Williams.
Saints. So
Marcus Williams,
I
their
love
other
it.
center, their other safety, is one of the best corners in the league. Safeties in the league.
Despite
Or
the
cover- sorry, I
despite the
meant to say-
famous missed tackle.
Yeah, one of the best coverage safeties in the league. And Malcolm Jenkins is more of a hard hitter, run stopper. He's an upgrade over Von Bell at safety, so I really like it.
This is one of my favorite signings.
David Onyemata, defensive tackle, re-signed with the Saints.
Yeah.
3 years,
unknown.
$27 million. Not a lot to make of this.
I mean, it's people. This is another thing.
But
Yeah, it's surprising. He hasn't played that much, but apparently he's a physical freak. And honestly, I haven't seen him play that much. And I guess he just
Nick, we
adds
can't see
defensive
it.
line depth. Me? Right now?
yeah. Is that just me?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Are we on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
So here's the big one. We'll save it best for last because this is the last part of this video. So we'll start off. Shaquille Barrett got the franchise tag.
I thought you were starting off with it.
No, we thought Shaquille Barrett was going to get the franchise tag.
The big one.
The
big
big
one.
Shaquille Barrett franchise
Shaquille
tag.
Barrett.
Oh my god.
And here's the really big one. Jason Pierre-Paul re-signed with the Buccaneers.
Oh, what?
2-year, $27 million
F4.
contract. Anything to make of this, Nick Freeman?
These two.
They got 2 edge rushers. They're in a win now mode because of the quarterback who none of our listeners know got him yet, but you'll find out soon. It's a
You'll
surprise
find
in
out
the engine
soon.
breaking
We've got
news.
breaking news. The engine are reporting this first.
They are.
Tom Brady has finalized.
My friend Alex.
Per Johnny Fogel.
Guerrero.
Per
Yeah.
Johnny Fogel.
My friend
Buccaneers.
Alex Guerrero. And Giselle Bunch me. So,
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
anyway, I like it. They have a really good edge rushing duo. They'll bring in the pressure. This defense has potential. They're not that bad, actually. So I think it was good that they brought it back.
Their run defense was elite last year, very good, and they built up a really good foundation on defense. Maybe the secondary needs a little bit of a boost, but other than that, they're a really good defense.
But
Yeah.
breaking news.
Even bigger.
Even bigger
Zach
news.
Perriman
I'm
is
telling
free
you,
agent.
this
You're
is
reporting
happening.
this now. This is you.
Well, I'm reporting this right now. This is me.
All right.
I just
Your
got off a
sources.
call. I just got off a call with Tom Brady's agent. Tom Brady has finalized an agreement to join the Buccaneers on a deal that is believed to be roughly $30 million per year. I know.
What?
I see it in your face, Nick Freeman. I see it in your face, Nick Folk. Tom Brady's going to look really bad in the really ugly Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniforms. They should bring back the
They're not that
1990s
ugly.
They're pretty ugly. They're supposed to
They're
get new
weird.
uniforms this year.
They're weird.
It was a
They're-
funny post
they glow in
earlier.
the
Josh
they glow in the dark.
McCown was in the Buccaneers, and Josh McCown was number 13 on the Browns. So they showed a picture of like his jersey swap with Tom Brady and Odell Beckham because those are like the new ones, which I thought was pretty good.
Ah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it wasn't that funny.
What do we make of this Tom Brady signing? How do we feel about it? Was it the right place to go?
So on our last couple shows, I said I was very insistent on that, saying that Tom Brady was going to leave because
were.
I think he had something to prove.
Wait, I have a question before we talk
Yeah.
about this. Do you think Brady wanted to leave, or do you think he was forced out? I know it
I
says he
think-
wanted to leave, but what do you think?
Of course, it's a little bit of both. But he was always insistent on leaving at some point. I feel like there had to be something in the back of his mind all the time, like, I need to go out and prove myself. This is my chance to make I am the GOAT. This is what he's doing, and it's just a better situation. It's closer to New York, of course. People have been talking about that, and then of course a little bit of it is probably Bill Belichick because lots of players have said that he's hard to deal with, especially over 2 decades of playing.
And I think Belichick wanted Brady gone. He's ready to restart, for sure.
Yeah.
Statistically, the most winning quarterback in the history
The thing
of
with
the
Belichick,
sport.
Yeah.
And I think,
I think the thing with Belichick is the idea of the thing about a successful season with Belichick is a Super Bowl, and the second most successful is 0-16 and the first pick in the draft. So with the Super Bowl and bust, if he thought he wasn't going to get Brady, or if he thought they weren't going to contend with Brady, I think there was part of him leaving. But also, Brady definitely was looking for a fresh start, and Tampa Bay is a pretty good fit.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much of a start. I don't know.
Okay, yeah.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah, you're right. That was
Let's say.
Yeah.
So,
I like that.
on benefits to Tampa Bay, I think Mike Evans is a class act. He's a great receiver, but he's also known to be a great teammate, actually.
Class act. I like that.
Okay.
Bruce Arians, of course, and I think they're really talented overall, which you've talked about before.
And
Chris
don't
Godwin,
forget, Chris
O.J.
Godwin,
Howard, Cameron Brate.
Chris Godwin is an absolute machine.
And
we're
O.J.
assuming
Howard
they lose Perriman.
O.J. Howard is an absolute injury monster. Like, he is absurd at getting injuries. So good at it.
Well,
So
I think
this
Brady
is just
will make him pretty good.
This is like a huge boost compared to Julian Edelman and I don't know. I forget who their tight end was. No one.
They didn't have a tight end. They didn't have a tight end.
Dwayne Allen. Oh wait, he got injured week 1.
Matt Lacoste.
Oh yeah, Matt Lacrosse. Matt Lacrosse.
Yeah.
He's a G.
By the way, Benjamin Watson retired. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Also, their offense line's not that bad. Jameis makes any offense line look terrible. It could use some help, but it's better than the Chargers.
I guess we could talk about where Jameis is going to go later, but also this is just another intriguing point about this.
He's not
but
start.
Who has more to prove, Belichick or Brady?
Brady, 100% Brady. That's the whole reason he left.
So I think it's Belichick because I don't think you can put this on Brady. Brady is 42, 43 years old. It's just astonishing alone that he is playing right now. Mm-hmm. So why should he be blamed if the Buccaneers go 10-6 or something like that?
So I
think Belichick has
should
more to prove.
I think neither should have anything to prove. Their legacies, we should be able to appreciate that it was both of them who led them to those championships.
Yeah, you say
it depends.
that.
I think you can't tell who has more to prove. Well, we can't tell who has more to prove until you see who Belichick plays at quarterback. Because if he walks out there with Jarrett Stidham, you know they're tanking. But if he tries going for a Cam Newton, then maybe.
So no one's disputing that. In my opinion, Bill Belichick is the best NFL head coach ever. Tom Brady is the best player in NFL history.
Let me raise you.
Don't argue.
Bill Belichick.
Don't say sports. Don't do it. Don't do it.
In the history of organized sports, there's never been a better coach. I guarantee you.
Oh, okay. So you're agreeing. Okay.
He's the best coach in organized sports history. It's not even close.
I don't know if it's not even close. But
no,
there
are a lot. It's so hard to compare.
This is the first time they've been alone. So, they've accomplished so much.
Yeah,
but no one's going to deny that both of them have
I will not say that until they win a Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham.
If they win a Super Bowl next year, which obviously as a sports YouTube channel, we have to make the claim that the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Just to be clear, I'm talking about Belichick over the next 5 years. It doesn't have to be this year. Brady, he only has fewer years left, so this will determine his legacy. Of course, he's going to be the best, but people are gonna say, well, Brady was supported by Belichick if he didn't do good, but he's also 43, so you can't really put that on him. Mm-hmm. That's why I think that Belichick has more to prove.
There's one more important aspect of this. There are reports that the Buccaneers may try getting Antonio Brown as just another insane weapon. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know.
I think they have enough. I think that's just cancer in the locker room. Arians is the guy you want to win with it, but
Tom Brady can. I'm not worried about the cancer in the locker room. I just don't believe that's possible at this point. I don't think Antonio Brown has the way back.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. We're talking about super teams now. Okay, this is a team that.
And Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard. They're on the same tier.
I think if you're
the injury monster.
I think if you're doing that, it's a lot smarter to go for an Emmanuel Sanders than
I think that's unrealistic at this point. It's happened so many times.
You already have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin who are. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are vertical threats, and also Antonio Brown there was a warrant for his arrest, and he turned himself in. He's not coming back to the NFL.
So, he could go to the Buccaneers. It's a legit possibility. But Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, when you say they're vertical threats, that doesn't fit Brady well But I also think they're vertical threats because of Jameis Winston and because of Arians.
They're-
Arians has been known for his flexibility. He's going to be able to switch his offense into a Tom Brady offense.
But they're talented receivers nevertheless. So
I think they can be short.
I forgot to mention this, but a huge reason why Brady left is because he wanted control over the team, the offense, the team, the player personnel, the playbook, and Bill Belichick was like, "No way."
So
I don't blame Belichick because it's been successful for him.
I don't blame him.
But he's going to be their offensive coordinator.
I mean, I don't know if Patriots fans, and none of us are Patriots fans, but I don't know if they were like, well, Belichick just basically said fuck off to Brady. So, like,
okay,
are they mad about that?
Let me present you with some interesting information, Nick Falk, Nick Freeman. The Buccaneers, after signing Brady, still have $60 million left in cap room. And apparently, Antonio Brown and Tom Brady have kept consistent contact and have still hoped to play together wherever the New England Patriots quarterback landed in free agency.
Okay, yes, I understand that. Unfortunately, Antonio Brown is a convict, and he's probably mentally insane.
That has never stopped That has never stopped anybody before.
He's a psychopath.
Saying. I'm not going to mention any other players.
We're gonna keep this PG.
Yeah,
kind of. We're keeping it PG-13, but
yeah, that would be
the Bill O'Brien reference.
Yeah. I'm a Steelers fan. I don't have any hard feelings against Antonio Brown. I just can't think of a way that he's back in the NFL. Not that he can't go to the Buccaneers, but I just don't find him going back to the NFL.
Has he been kicked out of the NFL?
I don't know, but he's in.
So there wouldn't have to be like a full reinstatement.
It seems kind of like an excommunication type deal, but like, you know what I mean?
I don't trust that he can shut up.
Yeah, but nobody's asking him.
But Brady will make him shut up.
Well, yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried.
The Patriots.
If he was fine on the Patriots. If
he was great that first game.
He was there for 3 days, so it doesn't really. We can't really.
And he scored a touchdown in like 54 yards, something like that.
Yeah. So
I'm saying he didn't shut up though.
That's true.
He never broke a window in his house celebrating or something.
Yeah. So I don't know. If it were to happen, if Antonio Brown was allowed a chance to be back in the NFL, if the Buccaneers did express interest in him, I think that would be insane, and I think they probably should do it because I think Tom Brady, it's basically not Buccaneers, it's Tom Brady, and I think Tom Brady can control Antonio Brown.
Okay. One last thing, prediction for the Buccaneers record this upcoming season with Tom Brady.
I'll give you 11-5, and
I'll go 12-4.
Here's why I'll give you 11-5. Now that Brady's on this team, this has easily become the most competitive division in football. I don't know. Okay, I think you got two teams. I think the NFC West is really probably the most competitive. The NFC North is really competitive. The NFC South, but this is one of the best divisions in football, if not the best division. We're not going to make that claim, I guess, but 11-5 is going to be tough. They have to play a lot of good teams this year. They have to play the Packers. They obviously have to play the Saints twice.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't put them above the NFC West.
So, yeah, 100%. I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
The Bucs,
especially with the Cardinals. We'll talk about that. But
those Bucs Saints games are going to be amazing to watch. I would probably also go 11-5. Brady's not going to they're not going to be an amazing regular season team just because that's not what Tom Brady has been doing recently.
But think about it. You're the Buccaneers, and you have to play how many former MVPs you have to play? You have to play Matt Ryan twice. You have to play home against the Packers, which is lucky for you. You have to play at New Orleans and home against New Orleans. So you got to play the Chiefs.
So do we think they rival the 49ers in any way?
No, they're not as good as the 49ers. But come playoff time, they could beat them. But in the regular season, they're not going to have a better record. Well, NFC West is amazing. We'll see.
We can all agree that the Buccaneers had a great free agency.
Yeah, let's just say
by the way,
excited.
A+. Because
A+.
Even if it doesn't end up working out to Joe Montana,
you just got the goat.
Yeah, and he's gonna bring a bunch of money to your franchise anyway. So
yeah, okay. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for
listening to this.
We'll be back with the NFC West complaining about Bill O'Brien. So, well, the Cardinals. We'll see. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.